Welcome to the realm of the unseen, where every whisper and nuance tastes like fear.
Three friends, Ethan, Ryan, and Michael, left the city late at night for a weekend adventure, hoping for escape and thrill. The road grew darker as they moved away from the city lights. Ethan kept feeling like someone outside the car was watching them. Fog thickened as they entered the jungle road, hiding everything beyond the headlights. The air became cold enough for their breath to show. Ryan forced a laugh, but even he felt something wrong. The jungle entrance looked like a dark tunnel made of trees bending unnaturally inward. The silence was heavy and unnatural, as if the forest held its breath. Ethan stepped out and instantly felt the ground vibrate under his shoes. As they walked deeper, branches snapped above them like footsteps. Ryan heard a faint giggle of a girl but saw nothing when he turned. Michael pretended to be brave but kept checking behind him. Finally, they saw the abandoned mansion rising from the fog. Like a dead giant, one side was burned black, windows shattered, and the gate broken. Ethan whispered nervously that something felt wrong here. A cold wind blew from inside the mansion even though the air outside was still. It carried a strange mix of burned wood and old flowers. None of them understood why it smelled fresh, not decades old. Inside, the floor felt wet and cold like someone had just spilled water. Their footsteps echoed unnaturally, stretching longer than they should. Shadows moved across the walls although their flashlights were steady. Ryan felt a cold hand brush his arm and froze. When he turned, no one was there. Michael laughed nervously, but didn't go far from the group. One room had melted candles still warm to the touch. Rotten flowers hung from threads, swaying although there was no breeze. Ethan heard a whisper right in his ear saying, "Why did you come back?" Fear stiffened his whole body as he looked around and saw nothing. Ryan asked what happened, but Ethan couldn't speak. Michael suggested leaving the room quickly. Lights flickered even though there was no electricity. In the mansion, a door slammed loudly behind them with no wind. At the end of a hallway, the shadow of a girl stood still with her head slightly bent. The shadow vanished when they shined the light at it. Michael tried recording, but the video glitched, showing distorted figures behind them. The audio captured heavy breathing that didn't belong to any of them. They found a large hole with a black burn mark shaped like a person's body. Ryan whispered, "If someone died here." Ethan noticed a torn diary page beside the mark. The page said, "She waits for company." It suddenly grew hot in Ethan's hand, forcing him to drop it. The mansion trembled violently afterward. Footsteps echoed from the broken upper floor even though no one could walk there. The steps moved slowly but with heavy weight. All three stared upward, terrified. Then she appeared, jerking toward them like a broken puppet. Her hair covered her face, but one glowing red eye stared at them. Ryan screamed and ran. They tried escaping, but every hallway twisted back into another hallway. It was like the mansion changed itself to trap them. The house felt alive and hungry. Ethan's arm burned as scratches formed letters reading "Don't leave." Ryan grabbed him in panic, pulling him forward. Michael shouted that the house wasn't letting them go. In another room, dozens of photos covered the wall showing a girl smiling at first, then tortured, then burned. In the last picture, she stared directly into the camera with hatred. Ryan whispered, asking who she was. Ethan said she was the girl who died here long ago and never left. The door slammed shut behind them violently. A figure stood silently in the corner watching them. When it stepped forward, its bones cracked loudly. Michael tried breaking a window, but the glass filled with black ash. Inside, pale hands slapped the window from outside. Cold fingers grabbed Ryan's ankle and yanked him down. Bruises shaped like fingers formed immediately. Ethan and Michael pulled him up desperately. A whisper filled the room saying, "One of you stays." The voice repeated it with growing anger. Ethan suddenly froze as an old memory hit him. He realized he had seen this mansion as a child and the same girl had waved at him from the broken window. She wasn't alive even then. She remembered him. Ethan whispered that she wanted him, not them. The whisper stopped instantly. Ryan shook his head violently, refusing to accept it. The girl appeared again. her burned face softening as she reached toward Ethan. Her eyes were full of longing. Not rage, Ethan stepped toward her slowly. He whispered that if he didn't stay, she would kill them all. Ryan cried and begged him not to. Michael dragged Ryan away, both crying. As they ran, the mansion opened its doors as if letting them go. The jungle pushed them forward like it wanted them out. A final scream echoed behind them, Ethan's voice cutting off suddenly. Hours later, they reached their car shaking and exhausted. Their phones vibrated with a new video from Ethan's number. They opened it with trembling hands. Ethan stood inside the mansion, pale and hollow. His eyes were dark with something inhuman behind them. He stared into the camera and whispered, "I'm here now, and someday you will return for me."
You've escaped, but the darkness remembers you until it calls again.